Hey everyone, it's Leslie Hassler with Your Biz Rules Business Coaching from the Carpool. Back in the Carpool, midweek. You know, at least it's not raining today, so that's always a good thing. I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I'm having fun putting them on. In fact, a colleague of mine, Mako, who is an amazing printer, by the way, so if you need a printer, Mako Amoya with Bullet Graphics is the person you need. But, you know, he was like, man, coaching for the Carpool, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? I like it when you luck into some of those things sometimes. But that's, you know, what we're doing here is really just a set time every day, every business day, that I can share with you a little bit of wisdom. And why do I want to do that? Well, I kind of know that there's so much to being successful in the business that even if I just spent 30 minutes with you on a daily basis, I could never tell you it all. And you would never get everything that you need in that time. So that's kind of the depths to which being successful in business really has its potential. And it doesn't have to be hard, or I don't know how to put this. It's one of these duality kind of issues of simplicity and hardness and knowing the right thing that you need to know at the time that you know it. So good business is simple. In fact, that's one of the things we're going to talk about today is good business is simple. The more simple, the better the business. But it's still kind of hard to get the cash flowing in your business. And so we've been talking about, oh golly, how many days? So we're on day 7. So for 7 days, we've been talking about really these foundational building blocks to business. So I always say that what I do is not magical, but it is sometimes seems like magic because it's just really simple. It's good business technique. It's the fundamentals that nobody really tells you need to do. So you might be doing it right, but you may not be doing it in the right order. So that's really what we're talking about, really. So we're on number 7. I have notes to keep me from, being on track for you, being prepared for you. And number 7 is all about a money-making model. Now, what do we mean by model? Model is really, if you think about it, that process, that prescription by which you intend to make money. Now, we had money-making methods yesterday. So this is a bit of a bigger picture. And hi, Mac. Thank you so much. And hi, Brianna. So when we're looking at models, and I'm really coming at it from the framework of small business. So small business service businesses. I want you to imagine this quadrant. So work, right? So you've got your ups and your down. And in your lower, I think the thing's reversed. So see if I can do this right. So in your lower left-hand model, you've got from, let's say, left to right being price. So low price to high price, right? And then I went from your top to bottom. You might have to draw this for yourself, but from top to bottom, I want you to put volume. So few clients to a lot of clients. All right. So we've got volume here. We've got price here. And that gives you basically 4 quadrants, if you will. So you've got your low price, low volume. All right. Not where you want to be. I'll tell you why in a minute. You've got your low price, high volume. Not where most service businesses need to be. That really is a product driven business. Not a good place to start out for service. All right. Then you'll come over and you've got your high price, high volume, and then your high price, low volume. What am I meaning by all this? Well, let me tell you, a lot of times people are choosing the models on this low price side, whether it's low volume or high volume first, and they don't have the momentum or the budget to pay for it. You can drive volume. You can start off in volume, but you need to have a hefty budget to make the conversions make sense, to create those clients, right? So a lot of times what people do is they start out here in a service industry on the low price, low volume. Let me give you an example. So this is a couple-year-old conversation. So I was having a conversation with a semi-tennis pro instructor, all right? So he gave a little bit above, regular tennis lessons, right? And we're talking about his business and how much he wants to make. So he wants to have a $10,000 a month business. Okay, that's a very normal goal for a lot of service-based businesses. And it's kind of that first, I think, little finish line that people give themselves is to get to a 10 grand a month business. That's $120,000 a month. very respectable for service-based businesses. If you've got the right model, can be highly profitable. I mean, most of that can be take home. So anyways, so he's doing tennis lessons. And I was like, okay, so $10,000, not a problem. Write that down. I said, well, how much are you charging? And he goes, well, I don't want to tell you because you're going to tell me to raise my price. And there's no way that I'm going to raise my price. I love these conversations because it just tickles me pink. If you're that adamant about not raising your prices, it's probably a good indicator that you need to raise your price. But, so I said, okay, I won't say that. Just tell me, how much are you charging? So for a 45-minute lesson, he was charging $45. So let's write that down, $45. Easy peasy, right? Oh, I can't use my phone for a calculator. So if you think about this, $45 for a lesson, that probably takes a full hour between greetings and setting off, and maybe you have to go to the restroom in between, who knows. And I said, okay, well, how'd you come up with that price? Remember we talked about money-making models yesterday, methods yesterday, and he goes, well, that's what the country club charged for me when I worked at the country club. I said, great, let's just do the math, right? You do the math, since I don't have my calculator, but you do the math, $45 into $10,000. Okay, what are you going to come up with? Even if I just cheated, I'm going to say 200 hours. Is that right? 200 appointments. That's a lot of appointments. Divided by 4 weeks, that's 50 appointments a week. That's 50 hours just pure working to get to that 10,000. That's 200 appointments. Now, maybe you've got somebody that comes in, once a week, maybe. Okay, so then that means 50 clients that you're looking for. 222. Thank you, Sharon, for doing the math. It's a lot. It's a lot, okay? It tends to take time to build up that kind of volume. So the chances of him at that model, right, that $45 an hour model, producing that income is actually low because of what we know that it takes. Yeah, 55 each week. Sharon's providing the math for us. It takes a lot, okay? So it's a question of which way would you rather work? Would you rather serve deeply and well and be compensated well, or would you like to be on this little hamster wheel of 55 and a half clients a week? Most service-based businesses cannot generate that type of clientele, and it takes a while for things to really speed up and get going. So that's what I'm talking about with this model. Is your how you've chosen to make money, your money-making method, in alignment with where you're trying to grow, with your business goals. Also, sometimes it's the expectation of who's paying. Okay, so we talked about the low price. You've got the high price, low volume. That's a perfect place for a service-based business to begin. All right, and why? It generates cash. Cash is king in a business. If you're not generating cash, it's just a matter of time, right? And it takes the same amount of effort to generate a client at $500, let's say, as it does at $50. So why not maximize those things? Okay, this is how you get leverage in a small business. But if you think about it, you want to come in at that high, low volume so that you can build. If you build from that high price, low volume model, you have two choices. You can go up into high price, high volume, and that's a cash cow. That really is a great business. Or you can come over, once you've built enough volume, into that low price, high volume moniker that so many people try to get into first. Let me give you an example of what that is. So low price, high volume, a book, a workbook, a do-it-yourself type of course, a complete online subscription-based model. All of those are that low price, high volume type things. And so there's just a difference in when you come in, where you come in. So as much as you can as a service-based business, you don't want to come in this low price area because you'll work yourself to death. You'll be exhausted. You won't feel appreciated at the end of the day. The money goes out of your business as quickly as it comes into your business. Nothing's sticking. And if you're breaking even, it's just barely. So that's kind of like sometimes when I get those businesses, we have to perform triage. We're really trying to save the business, and I hope you don't wait that long to get help. I don't care if it's me, just get help. So you want to make sure that your money-making model makes sense, right? The math works. And this is really one of those key things I learned early on is good business is good math. And if the math doesn't work, the business isn't going to work, because you just can't force that type of a thing. So we want to get the math right really quickly. In fact, I tell you what, I have 2 tools that I use with clients. It does require some number work, some budgeting, some things like that. But I have 2 tools that really show you how to get your money-making method using what you're trying to accomplish, the income that you're trying to arrive to, all of these things in your business that you can use, and I will give it to you. I'm going to give it away. This is what this is all about. If you want that, you just have to email me. And so you'll email me at support@yourbizrules.com and just tell me money-making models so that I can send you the right stuff, and I won't go, what does she want? Or what does he want? I'm happy to share with you, because it really is when you can see things in the black and white. And these are 2 tools I use with clients. I think I can show them like in 15 minutes. I mean, it's really that kind of simple of really where they need to be and how to choose that right model, but also what price to be in, and start using effective money-making models. Here's, I'll give an example. I got to genericize it a little bit, but so talking with a business, right, that actually is very successful in multi-millions type of things, and they're looking at opportunities to grow. Okay, so if you think about this, this is probably a high price, high volume type of a business. That's what stage they're in. And yes, they can increase volume by all means. There's definitely market share. But then you start to look at what they're missing. And this is the strategy that they need to start implementing is a yes at any level. So that not just a high priced yes, but a low priced yes, and maybe a medium priced yes. And one of the ideas that I'm going to present to them is building back in building. All right. So that anybody that they're having to turn away because they're not that high priced client, they actually have a service offering that can reach that client. They have enough stability up here at that high price, high volume that they can afford to do this now. All right. That's the key, is you really have to know how to move through these quadrants about when it's the right time to be in which model, or which model to bring on and accent and augment cash and expand the business in innovative ways. Just, my friends, if you're starting a service-based business, if you're in the service-based business and you're in this low price, low volume quadrant, stop, get out, please. It's the best thing I can do for you is to get you out of that. And that's really, if you look back to some of our last videos when we're talking about niche and the power of niche, when we're talking about pricing, when we're talking about really the client who will pay and focusing on that client first, that's how you can move into that higher price, low volume, which is where a lot of businesses truly are. Okay. So that is what I think I have to share with you. I'm going to check my notes real quick. Yeah, that's it. You've got to choose the right money-making models. What is it? You can't squeeze blood from a turnip. So make sure that's not your business too. And I hope that was helpful. If you want some little helpful tools on choosing the right model for you, let me know. I'll send those off to you so that you have them. And that's Coaching from the Carpool today. So enjoy. Leslie Hassler with YourBizRules Business Coaching.